Okay, so this video gonna be my tattoo talk video, and yeah, and obviously, the I want to talk about is why why some color works on darker skin tone, and other color do not work on darker skin tone, and specific colors that have some of the similar mixture together in some. For example, purple and magenta and red violet, both of them are mixed with red and blue. When you have much more, you have, especially when you make magenta, you have much more red than blue. You have maybe like example 5 drops of red and maybe 1/2 drop of blue to make magenta. And when you make red violet, you have maybe 4 drops of blue and you maybe have 7 drops of red to make red violet, to really create that kind of color. And when you make purple, you have 4 of 4 drops blue, 4 drops red, then you have purple. So I don't think have nothing to do with have nothing to do with the mixture of the colors, because both of them use blue and red within them, but obviously different with the size of measurement, with how many drops of red or many drops of blue, or so on. When you mix this kind of color to make the other one, for example, red or magenta or and so on. And I think so. The differences here is how this kind of color is made, as how they are created to be that, how to be purple or how to be magenta in the ink bottle. Is probably that is the thing maybe more likely for why some, for example, some examples maybe have different results. For example, if you, I don't, okay, what I first have to say before I say this next thing is that what I say right now is just my big speculation. I don't say that is the case or not, I just speculate here. So for example, if you have a light purple, not violin, but you have light purple, the lightest purple you can have, the very light, and you have from other ink brand the same light purple. My speculation here that they maybe will have a different result after the tattoo have healed on the skin, after the color have healed after 4 or 3 weeks. Always where you place the on the body is how obviously different. But the interesting thing here that I think some brands of ink are gonna will stay longer on the skin, which have better result than comparable to other brands of ink, even if they are the same color. So I don't think the color is the problem. I think it's how the ink is made, for some strange reason, because that is the biggest thing. What I think with all of this is that we really have to look at this kind of more. I think tattoo artists should look at this thing in more professional and really, because if you see a picture of a tattoo on a person, you don't know anything about what kind of ink brand they use. You're just gonna see the colors, so that can come from any branch of ink. The same with, for example, with material of, for example, different swords blade are made in different materials. Some blades are much better than, some blades are created much better qualities than other blades. But we say, for example, if you have 2 katanas, obviously I'm not a sword expert, so I'm gonna be careful here. But if you have 2 katanas, one katana is gonna be trash. The other katana is gonna be a super quality sword, because they are made with very good material like minerals and other things that create that kind of sword. And that is the same thing with tattoo ink, obviously in different ways, but it's the same in that sense that some inks are superior to other inks because they are made in a they have much better technology and much better things in the ink to create that purple, create that green, or create that orange. So I think that is the hardest thing here is that what kind of brand is the best brand to use if you want to have, for example, if you have darker skin tone, what is the brand that is the best and will hold longest on the skin? What will most of the time will have the best result when the tattoo have healed on the skin? I don't care about when the tattoo is new. When the tattoo have healed, then you see the tattoo. Then everything scabs fall off. Then is the tattoo sinking into the skin. It's permanent on your skin. You cannot remove it with your hand. You cannot remove it with any. You cannot remove it. When the tattoo heal, you can remove it. You can damage it. When this tattoo have 100% healed, you can go out and swim. You can go to the sauna. You can go outside in the sun. Obviously, you should have sun cream. That is what I mean. When tattoo have healed, is healed and protected. Is no risk for any infection. All this everything is healed. Then this is what I mean. So when you see a picture of a tattoo, if this picture is not healed, it means nothing. The tattoo, many tattoos gonna look amazing because they have not yet sink into the skin. They have not mixed with the undertone in the skin yet. And this is the reason why I have done a video, for example, with my frog tattoo. I show a picture on the frog with his pipe, and part of the pipe is purple, light purple. But when you see the next other part of that picture beside, when the tattoo is healed, the purple is gone. So here is the question here, is the purple that is the problem for so do not want to work on my skin, or is it how the purple is made? That is my biggest speculation for the whole thing. Obviously, I only gonna try vegan ink because I'm a vegan. But one time I was suspecting I really want to try in some ways to see what will be the different result. For example, you have two different brand, both of them is vegan, and you have one turquoise blue from Ink Eternal. I know that for me, I know personally, I know turquoise blue will work on me because I tried 3 times, so I know that turquoise blue works. But if I use exactly the same turquoise blue, like that strongness of that, the contrast of that strongness of that turquoise blue with the different brand, what will be the result? Will it be the same result, or will it be a different result? And I have no idea. And this is the most interesting thing for me personally. I think that maybe it's that, so if you take the wrong brand, you will have a different result. So maybe it have nothing to do with the colors. It's just how the color is made, from the 0 to 100, how the color is made. And I think, I do not know. I just speculate about this kind of thing. That when people say, for example, green, red, orange, magenta works on you, but okay, they works, but what kind of brand do they use? If that person say to you, this color works, they maybe use the color. For example, reason why I watched one time a video on YouTube, on a very interesting YouTube video on tattoos, coloring on dark skin tone, but that person have exactly the same tattoo inks that my tattoo artist have. So that is very probably the reason why I can watch this kind of video and will still feel safe because I'm gonna get a good example. But if that tattoo artist have a totally different brand, then maybe we'll have a totally different story and all these kind of things. So I think obviously, because if the undertone is the only thing that matters to make that result, what kind of colors. But how many tattoo artists have tried different brand of the same color on a customer to see if that is going to be the same result? And this is what I'm most interesting about right now. Is this kind of thing? It really is that. Because I think if you show something, you should also show the other part of the process of the tattooing. You should not just show one part, because if you want to help, for example, other customers, and if they only see a tattoo when the tattoo is, for example, is new and fresh, you don't gonna really see what happened to that tattoo when later on when the tattoo start to heal, because maybe then we're gonna look a bit different with the coloring, maybe a lot more lighter or darker, and this kind of thing. And I think, and in some ways, is can be bit misleading if you say to somebody, obviously, say to somebody that this color works on you, but how can you? I think, this is the complicated thing. I think for the whole thing, that you can never be 100% sure of new colors you try. You can only be sure of the color you have tried before, then you know the result of. But you can never be sure what will happen. For example, if somebody tell you blue do not work on you on dark skin tone, what kind of blue do we talk about? What kind of version? What kind of contrast of blue? What kind of brand of blue? What kind of brand of the ink that blue they use for their customers? All of this is important. All of this is important through the box, because of if they use a different brand of blue, and if for example my tattoo artist uses other brand of blue or the same contrast of blue with different brand, maybe they will have a totally different result in comparable to the other brand of that contrast of blue. For example, dark blue from Ink Eternal and dark blue from some other ink companies that make ink tattoo inks and this kind of thing. So this is, I think, super important, obviously, when we talk about this kind of thing, that you cannot just say, I think, that just blue do not work on you, because you only try one brand of blue. You don't have to try all kind of ink brand of blue. And I think that is that's obviously a very important topic with all of this, because it's an important topic, because of if you have, for example, different version of different brand of the same color, but different brand means they are made in different way, because you can, for example, I was a very interesting video watch with, they talk about white ink. Obviously I don't like white ink for many different reasons. I think that is, I don't like this color so much, but with all of this is that some white ink looks okay after some years, and some white ink totally vanish on the skin, and that is from different inks, and that have to be the same thing with other colors, that other colors will have another different result of the healing process of that coloring. And I think so. With all of this, what I mean with all of this is that I think they should give I think more detail about this. For example, if that is the case or not, is that, for example, so if you go and get one ink and you just see that color, you hear, okay, green works on you, but then you try, for example, green from a different brand, and they will have a totally different outcome from the other version of ink, other version of that brand for that green, for example. And so you really have to really have to see this kind of thing side by side to really notice the different results in different qualities of the ink, and to really understand, for example, why is it so that this green works okay in comparable to other brand of green in that brand of ink, and so on. Is so just, and I think this also, and that is the other thing is obviously the other thing is that with all of this is that I think this bit, maybe people just buy one branch of ink and they don't buy the other branch, so they don't see the result of the other brand with this kind of ink, what this will have kind of for outcome when this color heal on the skin. Always, as I say before, this is just my speculation on all this kind of thing. So I do not know 100% if that is the case or not. I just speculate about that, because obviously you have different brand for different reason, different brands. Some because some of them ink brand is vegan, some is unvegan. They're not. Some of them is not tested on animals, and some inks are tested on animals, and so on. But even if both brands is vegan, they are still have different things in the mixture of the ink to create that color, and this mixture will have I will have an outcome of the tattoo. And this is the thing here. For example, how the ink is made and what kind of outcome this color will have. So I think you can absolutely create, for example, blue or purple that's gonna work amazing on dark skin. But you just have to try different brands of this kind of purple to find out if there's just the color is the problem or how the color is made. As I said before in this video, with this kind of thing. So I think that is a super important thing, because to really see what is really the problem here. Why, for example, why it is so that some people say this and some other people say other thing. And I think, yeah, it's a bit complicated, because when you first try a color and that color do not work on you, for example, purple, you don't really want to try that color again, because you think that what the tattoo artist say and your own experience of it, that they are going to have the same result. So I think this is the thing here to make this so more interesting, that if somebody tells you, as a professional tells you that you should not have this kind of color because this color is not going to work good on you, because it's not going to heal well on the skin, and you believe them and you don't question what they say, because they are professionals. What I mean with this, I don't want to say anything mean or bad about any professional that is a tattoo artist. But I think if you always listen to somebody that is experienced, but they don't have your skin tone, so how can they know the result for you? And this is what I mean. Also, something what I mean with it. They don't know how this purple or this yellow will heal. They just say that because they hear from somebody else. And this is the thing. This is the problem here, because you talk about one type of yellow. You talk about one brand that use that yellow. You don't try with different version of yellow and different brand of different version of yellows to see the outcome for each experiment. And nowadays they create, like as I said before, like fake skin that they can practicing on, so they can obviously try different brands of the ink to see if they're gonna have the same result. If they try, obviously gonna take lots of work, lots of tries and errors, and try again to really find out 100% accuracy for each different skin dark tone skin type and all of these kind of things.